welcome to my kitchen. Now, today I've got two incredible recipes for you. Really excited to share them. Beautiful sort of pasta dish, but it's inspired by store-cupboard ingredients, so it's really quick, really easy, and packed full of flavour. It's got a kind of sweet and sour vibe going on, and then we're going to make the most indulgent, delicious homemade wagon wheels. And if you're really lucky, we'll introduce you to the latest member of our family, Pip. Now, some of you might have seen her on our social media. She's made the odd little appearance, and then she's been out and about with her friends, Max, Paddy and Harry. Let's bring her in later on to show you. She's a lovely little dog, and thank you very much for all your messages. They've been lovely to read through. Now, on with the cooking. First thing we need to do, salt into our pasta water. Now, I was always taught to make sure your pasta water is as salty as seawater would be. Then, when you add it to your sauce, you get the full rounded flavour, and it's kind of, it's got guts, it's really good. So, what we'll do is pasta. Now, 500 grams of spaghetti here will serve 5 people. Now, we've only got 4 in our house. 2 of them are slightly smaller, but we have got Carlos here today, so we might need to do the whole lot. So, let's get the whole lot in. Give it a little twist, and then just let it cook and drop down. Now, this pan is nice and big and deep. It's really important that you cook pasta in the biggest pan you've got. I've also got mine in a pasta basket as well, just to make it really easy, okay? So I'm gonna move this over to one side, and we'll let that cook. It will cook for 9 minutes. Please don't cook it any more than 9 minutes, because it's going to go into the sauce. It's got a little bit more cooking to do. And what you don't want is pasta that's really soft. You want it to not quite give out all it's got. It wants the tiniest of bite to it, okay? Al dente, they call it. Okay, so I've got nice big non-stick pan on there. Now we're going to go in with chili first. So, you like the sound of this dish, Carlos?
Yeah, I do.
So it's a whole sweet and sour, so we've got a little bit of heat. We're going to use some onion marmalade, okay, which is not the normal, I'll grant you, to go in with pasta, but it's vinegar, it's onions, and a little bit of sugar, so it is delicious. We're also going to balance that out with some salted anchovies, and they'll just kind of give that saltiness. You've got the sweet and the tang, you've got a little bit of heat, and then we're going to finish it with some vinegar to get that balance. It's going to be delicious. Okay, so, Carlos, are we going full red chili or half chili today?
Let's go for full.
Full, I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that. So, we're just going to remove the pith, okay, nice and carefully. Flatten the chili out and just push the knife against the pith, and then you've just got the chili. And fresh chili is delicious. It's got that kind of fruitiness to it. If you haven't got fresh chili, use dried chili flakes. Or you could use a bit of chili oil, actually, if you've got that. So, we're going to chop them into matchsticks first. Okay. There we go. Now, if you have any questions at all about what we're cooking today, please post them in the comments. I will be able to answer them as the best I can. And as you know, if I can't, the team at Masterclass will. All the equipment I actually use is available at cookserveandenjoy.com. So if you do see something you quite fancy, just have a look on Cook, Serve and Enjoy and see if you can find it. All right? So, chili, nice and finely diced. I'm super excited about the homemade wagon wheels. Now, I know we have viewers all over the world, and I'm praying that wagon wheels have made it round the world, the biscuit, because I'm not sure if they have or they haven't, but they are biscuits sandwiched together with spreadable marshmallow, raspberry jam, and coated in chocolate. But when you make them yourself, oh my goodness, a whole new level. Have you had a wagon wheel before?
No, never before.
Oh.
Oh, no, sorry, I might. But
You might. Do they have them in Spain?
No, I think I have them here.
How would you say wagon wheel in Spanish?
My Spanish is I lost. Rueda de carreta. Rueda
exactly
de
that. Right, let's give that pasta a little shake. So we're going to have Spanish wagon wheels as well. Right, in with some good extra virgin olive oil. All right, couple of tablespoons is perfect. We want to kind of get this whole dish going, because it's not a big wet sauce we're doing. We're just kind of building something to dress it in. Okay, so in with our chili. All right, can you see that all right, Carlos?
Yep.
He's got his fancy big lens straight on that camera, on that frying pan. So I'm hoping you can see it nice and close in. There we go. Is that better?
Much better.
Right, a little bit of salt, just to kind of, not a lot, because we've got pasta in salted water. A little bit of pepper. Okay, and we'll just get that going, I think. Now, let's give this a little bit of a stir. Don't need a big spoon yet. So let's just cook this chili through. Get it warming through. Just be careful not to kind of scorch it, okay? Because you don't want burnt chili. You just want that nice. You want the chili to give out the flavour into the oil, okay? So, let's get our anchovies. Let's get everything prepared and ready. Now, anchovies, they're a little bit polarizing. Some people love them. Some people hate the idea of an anchovy. I love them. Love them on a pizza. My absolute favourite. And I use them quite a lot. I just don't tell the family because they don't like them. They're very good at adding to things to give depth of flavour. You know, if you've got a nice bolognese, chuck a couple in and melt away, and you get a really good deep flavour. So, just chop them up nice and small because we want them to melt down as well, okay? So there we go. Nice and simple, sliced up, in with our chilies. Lovely. Now, onion marmalade. Okay, so it's just onions, sugar and vinegar. And we're just going to add half this jar. Oh, love this stuff. I just need a big block of cheese to go with it. Okay, so let's just bring that together. Give that a little stir. Okay, now, if we just cut to the wide, Carlos, let me talk about pasta water. Okay, so the pasta is boiling away. It's got 9 minutes. It's had about 3 or 4 minutes. And what's happening is it's giving out starch. Okay? Starch comes out of the pasta into the water, and it is how we take that from a bunch of ingredients in a pan into making a sauce. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take half a ladle of the starch water and we're going to add that to our pan. Now we are starting to get a sauce. Okay, let's get that pasta back on to cook because that has about 3 or 4 more minutes. And don't use a spoon. Just stir, just circulate the pan and let all those flavours marry and just come together. Okay? Ooh, smelling good. In with our olives. Not too many of those. And go for the olives that you love. If you don't like olives, don't put them in. That's okay. These are some green queen olives. I think they're Spanish actually, Carlos. You'll appreciate that. You like an olive?
I'm not a massive fan of olives.
Are you not?
No, I do like them sometimes, but not a massive fan.
No?
I love olive oil.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a massive fan of olive.
I saw you having olive oil on your bread for breakfast this morning.
It's probably as a Spaniard, it's
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
not be a massive fan of olives, but
Right. So, we're going to freshen this whole thing up with some flat leaf parsley, okay? I don't like curly parsley. I don't like the texture of it particularly. It's very difficult to chop well. So I'm just going to take the stalks off. A little bit more of that. And then I'm just going to start from the middle of the stalks and work upwards, okay? So start chopping nice and fine. And then just open your knife up a little bit as you get towards the end. And now we've just got a really nicely chopped fresh herbs. Now, let's have a little taste of this just to make sure we're on the right road. Oh. Now, let me just try and explain what's going on in that pan. Now, red onion marmalade or chutney, whichever you want to call it, it's very sweet and it's sticky and it's slightly tart from the vinegar. When you add it to the frying pan with chili and anchovies, you're getting warmth and you're getting savouriness. So it's taking it from sweet and sticky to kind of that sort of tangy, deep flavour. And the fact that within 5 minutes we've got a sauce or a dressing for pasta that's actually quite deep in flavour is really, really good. Okay, so we're just going to add a little bit more of that pasta water because I can see some frothy starch on the top and I want it in my sauce. Okay, so that will do. We are almost ready. It's that quick. Okay, so let's have a look at our pasta. Okay, so I'm going to bring this over here. And then you can see by using a pasta basket, it means that I can drain it out really, really easily, okay? And let's just have a little taste to make sure our pasta is there. For me, perfect. Tiny little bit of bite. I can taste the salt of the water, which is lovely. For me, it works really well. So, always lift your pasta out of your pan and in to the sauce, okay? Don't drain it through a colander because some of that starch, you see that starch water that's dripping down there? Can you see that, Carlos? Yeah. That's just gonna help, okay? And that's gonna bring our sauce together and our pasta. Because at the moment, we've got two independent things in a pan. That starch water brings it all together and harmonizes the dish. Really does. Okay? So I've got a couple of random pieces in there. So what we're going to do is just take our parsley, in it goes, and then start to turn it, all right? In fact, am I feeling brave, Carlos? Shall we do it to the camera? Look, can you see that?
Yeah.
On the wide? There we go. So by just sort of tossing it, all the flavours are starting to work into the pasta. And then let's just warm it up. I want that sauce to kind of cling to the pasta. Okay, so we'll just keep turning it. Oh, it looks really good. I'm really pleased with this dish. And we're going to finish this with some Parmesan cheese, which will give it a slight richness. Oh, there we go. Right. Turn that down. Let's have a little tidy up. And let's get our Parmesan into the equation. Now, fresh Parmesan, you can use Pecorino as well if you want to. Depends on what you like. So, say half the cheese in now and then half the cheese at the end. Right. There we go. Whoa. This is a good dish, Carlos. I think this is going to be a winner. Is this the kind of thing you'd make at home?
No, with
no?
I will do pasta, but never use the chutney.
The chutney?
Yeah, I never thought that.
Yeah?
To do pasta. It's like, we probably, Mediterranean people, we don't use chutney much.
No.
It's more like a British Indian thing.
Well, I mean, chutneys are for preserving. You know, when you've got onions, make chutney kind of thing. So, we've got our pasta here. Let's serve this up. Now, lift and then just gently and then twist it. All right? Twist, twist, twist and release. There we go. That's one nice turn. And then let's do the same on this one. Here we go. So let's turn it, turn it. Whoa. There we go. There we go. A little bit of parsley on there. I like a drizzle of olive oil at the end because it gives it a nice sort of silkiness. So a little bit of Parmesan on the top there just finishes it beautifully. And that, for me, is an absolutely amazing store cupboard pasta dish that is just packed full of flavour and super easy. Now, if you want the recipe, go to cookserveandenjoy.com. You will find it there. That is the first half of our programme. The second half, I'm going to call the kids and the dog in, and we're going to make the most incredible homemade wagon wheels. Right, I was always told never to work with animals and children. I've decided today to ignore that advice, but this is Pip. I know a lot of you have seen her with Max, Paddy and Harry on their channel doing a little bit of training in the field, but here she is. Thank you for all your lovely messages, and she's a lovely little member of our family, isn't she? So we'll not cook with her today. So you're going to take her.
Chocolate.
Go on, you take her. And I will get us started and you can join. Now go on, off you go.
Okay.
Right, let's wash my hands. Okay, so we're going to make homemade wagon wheels. Poppy's going to help me with this. Now, I don't know if wagon wheels are a global biscuit, but they are very much a British biscuit, part of my childhood, nostalgia oozing out of this one. But we're going to make them like, we're going to refine them a little. We're going to make a lovely crisp biscuit. So what you do is you start with some room temperature butter. Okay, so that's neat. I always use salted butter because I like to make the sort of, I feel like there's a slight balance there to be had. Right, is Pip all locked up, safe and out of menacing trouble? No, there she is already. Right, icing sugar in. So this biscuit is softened salted butter, icing sugar. We're going to beat that together, okay? Okay, because we're using soft butter, it means it will incorporate much easier in the mixer with the sugar. And the whole point of this is trying to emulsify the fats and the sugars together to get one texture. Okay? So you're going to pour in a little bit of vanilla for me. I like vanilla in this because I just think it really brings out the flavour. So if you sort of, about a teaspoon worth, Poppy's just going to pour it in because she does this quite a lot. So there we go. Be sparing, it's very expensive. Good vanilla. Bad vanilla is just not good. Okay, so don't use that. Right, okay, so just give it like 10 seconds on full speed now. There we go. That'll do. Turn it back down to 1. Okay, let's put the egg in now. And you can do that while it's mixing, just let it drop in, yeah? So we're gonna go in with the egg now. Again, room temperature eggs work much better at room temperature. When they're cold, they're very tight. So nice room temperature, go wash your hands. And then I'm gonna add a touch of honey to this. I think it's 2 teaspoons in the recipe. There we go. And then what we've got in this bowl here is plain flour, a little bit of bicarb, and a little bit of baking powder, okay? So let's just turn this off. And because the egg hasn't fully incorporated, can you see? Just use the paddle and just scrape around until it has. There we go. And then pour all that in. And then it will start to incorporate. Have we got it all in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good? Right, paddle down and then lowest speed. The reason why we use a very low speed is we don't want to develop the gluten. We don't want like a tough biscuit. We want a really nice, soft, nice, snapping biscuit. Because we're making wagon wheels, which are filled with marshmallow, a little bit of jam, and then coated in chocolate, the biscuits need to be robust and crisp, but nice and delicate when you bite them. All right? Turn it up to number 2. Now that it's started to incorporate. Final one, number 3. 5 seconds and done. That'll do. Okay, so let's have that dough out. So now what we need to do is we need to really let this dough chill down, let the butter firm back up to make it much easier to work with because it's actually quite soft. So if you want to just pop that over there in the fridge, that's absolutely fine. And let's have a look at this one. Now this has firmed up quite heavily. That'll do, just leave it there, Pops.
Okay.
So it's firmed up. Now a little tip is when you're rolling out biscuits is to use rice flour, okay? Rice flour is not a gluten-based flour, so it doesn't absorb and it doesn't dry the biscuit out, and it works really well. Because if you add too much flour, the dough will absorb it, whereas rice flour, it doesn't do that. So, you gonna roll this out for me, Pops? It's quite firm, isn't it, now?
It's harder now.
Okay, so stop. What we need to do now is like turn the dough and just bring it back together. So if you can roll it there, and then I can shape it for you. Not too heavy. Okay, it's always better to roll lighter rolls and lots of them than too many heavy ones. Okay, so watch that. See, you've got a lump there.
Yeah.
So you want to roll that out and get a nice level. Keep going, you're doing well. So what I've got over here, while Poppy's rolling that dough out, is I've got my dark chocolate. Now this is 70% dark chocolate, slowly melting away on a very low heat. So there's no rush with this. It's important that you don't try and rush melting chocolate. Let it melt nice and gentle. So by the time we get to it, it's just melted nice and gently and slowly. Okay, so I'm going to put that to one side.
I think it's 1/2 centimetre now.
All right.
Wait, I just
and then
need to
I'm
roll.
going to pop that pan on there ready. Okay, so let's take this out of the way. Now what we need to do is just make sure, because we've used rice flour, we can just lift it up, because now's the time to check. All right. So it's a little bit thick there. Let me just give it one couple of rolls. Right, do you want to get your cutter?
Where's
Here you go. Here's the cutter. Okay,
what
so
side?
I want the straight edge because we're making wagon wheels, so we need straight cuts. Okay, so cut me 8 out for now. And then we've got Masterclass Smart Ceramic Bakeware. Now this kind of honeycomb texture, can you see that, Carlos? Yeah? This base is perfect for biscuits because air gets underneath this tray, okay? They're really, really good. You don't need to line them with baking parchment, nothing. So what you need you to do, Poppy, is take the little excess away and then using a fish slice, carefully get underneath your biscuit and then just pop it on there like that. Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Once you've cut out your biscuits, transfer them onto a baking tray and then roll out the rest of the mix and keep going. But you need an even amount because we're going to sandwich 2 together, okay? So you do that, Poppy, and then get those straight into the oven. They're going to bake at 180 for about 8 or 9 minutes, so they don't take too long at all. Right, so I'm onto this pan here, Carlos. Am I all right with this?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we've got here is a little bit of stock syrup. Now, in America, they call it cornstarch. We call it stock syrup. It's basically an equal amount of volume of water and of sugar. So if it's 50 grams of sugar, it's 50 mils of water. You bring it up to the boil, and that makes a stock syrup, okay? And what we're trying to do now is to make our marshmallow fluff. Now, I went to the supermarket because I'd heard you could buy it in a jar. Couldn't find it. Could not find it anywhere.
So we're going to make it.
So we're going to make it, all right? So we've got our stock syrup. We're going to bring it up to the boil. Poppy, I need 12 marshmallows in there, please. So I've given you a recipe on how to make your own marshmallow fluff, okay? I've tested this out this morning to make sure it's worked because I researched this on the internet to find it because I was a bit snookered really. But as the stock syrup warms up, we add the marshmallows. The marshmallows will melt and then it will go from a marshmallow texture to something a bit more pliable and easy to work with. So, can you see that all right, Carlos?
Yep.
Are you excited about your wagon wheel?
Yeah.
Good.
First time ever.
First wagon wheel. Right.
12 now.
So 12 in there, and how many have gone into you?
0 actually. Wait,
Go on.
I can change that.
Go on. Okay, so the marshmallow's just melting down in the syrup. You give that a careful stir, and be careful because it's boiling, yeah? Really slowly leave it to mix together. Forcing it won't work. What you've got to do is melt the marshmallows into the stock syrup, and that will dilute the marshmallow and make it much more pliable and easy for when we sandwich them together. So let me get the biscuits. Now we've made some earlier and I've baked them on the exact same tray. Can you see those, Carlos?
You can see the little
Yeah, and you can see
texture.
the texture from the base of the tray. And because of that air pockets underneath there, they've baked perfectly. You can see they've got that nice golden crisp texture. All right? And then I have got some jam. We're a raspberry jam house here. We like our raspberry jam, don't we?
Raspberry jam's the best.
It is the best. Right, so what's the best camera to show this onto? Carlos, that one? Top one. So you can now see our marshmallows have gone from squashy, firm textured to a liquid, all right? So to get that to cool quite quickly, to allow us to make this, because let's be honest, you don't want to watch marshmallow set really, do you? Let's pour this into a bowl, and that will help it cool down a little bit.
Do you like
I'm sure Poppy will deal with that
I'll
later.
deal with that later.
And then all I'm going to do is just, almost like a whisking motion, I'm trying to get some cool air into it. Okay? So you can see the marshmallow mixture has cooled, and it's just at the temperature where it'll hold its shape. So what I'm going to do is just show Pops how to do these. So just really important that you scrape the edge, yeah?
1 spoon of marshmallow.
And then you put 1 spoon on, with nothing, no jam yet, darling.
Okay.
Put it right in the middle and let it flatten out, all right? So let me show you another one.
Stringy.
Yeah, it's cooling down, you see. So right in the middle, 1 dessert spoonful. Can you do that?
Yes.
Nice and clean, yeah? This will be the test.
Is that enough?
That's too much. Let me show you another one.
It's alright, I got it now.
All right. See if you can and use your finger and push it into the middle. All right, that's it. Nice and steady. Right, needs to be right in the middle. All right.
Sorry.
It's okay. Right. Here. Let me.
I think you should do
Let's do. All right. You do the jam. I'll do
I'll do
this.
the
All right. Okay. It's a bit of practice. It's got to go right in the middle. Okay. And the reason you need it right in the middle is because then sort of gravity kicks in and it just naturally finds the edge of the biscuit and it just spreads gently. It's a bit of trial and error, this one, because I think I've made these before and got in a right mess, and I've learned how to make it a little bit easier.
Good marshmallow fluff.
Do you think?
It looks like, and it's this.
Looks like
one's
unicorn
pink.
poo.
Yeah, the marshmallow fluff that you get in the jar's white, but I like the pink one.
Right, okay, so
Jam.
that'll do. Just wash my hands. Right, Pops, let me just show you with the jam. Okay. So, seeded raspberry jam right in the centre. Okay? Because then, when you bite into it, you think, oh, nice chocolate marshmallow biscuit. Then the second bite, oh, got jam as well. Yeah? So, right in the centre for a little surprise. Okay?
Okay. Just
Right.
under a full.
Yep.
Just
I'm going to get the other biscuits. Okay, so these biscuits are cooked and ready, and you can see they move around. They have not stuck at all, which is great. All right, once they are, and you can see, can you see the texture on that, Carlos? The way the base of this tray has helped. And then we just simply use the weight of the biscuit to sandwich it together. Don't squash it, just sit it on top.
I'll do one.
Yeah. Hang on, that's going over the edge, that one. Go on, you're all right. You do the last one then. Okay, right, chocolate time now. Always the best time of day. So we're all set up for chocolate now. We let that chocolate melt really slowly. This is 70% dark chocolate, so the counterbalance of that bitter, rich chocolate with the sweetness here. So a little tip for you, that this I find is the best way to coat these. So put your wagon wheel on a fish slice like so, yeah? You see that all right, Carlos?
Yep.
And then take the chocolate, pour it right in the middle, like we did with the marshmallow. So it's going to take 2 spoons. And the reason why I do it this way is you don't end up with too much chocolate because it just naturally drops over the edges. Is that going over the edges, Pop?
Yes.
Have we got that? Mm-hmm. How's that looking, Carlos?
Amazing.
Yeah? So I'm now just using the back of the spoon and pushing the chocolate off the edges, because what we don't want is a massive lump of chocolate. But what we do want is everything to be coated. All right? Chocolate just looks so nice when it's melted, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so much better than it's hot.
Put it down. That's it.
Okay.
Right, and then transfer it onto there, and that's it. All right, do you want to go?
I think it's better if you do it.
All right, put a biscuit on. Let's do another one so everyone can see. Right, so chocolate on. More chocolate on. And then use the back of the spoon. I'm pretty sure you could do this, Poppy.
Okay.
Do you want to do the next one?
I'll do one more.
All right, we'll push it over the edge, like you do me. Okay, and then we'll transfer that over.
Okay.
We're going to finish off the rest of these wagon wheels. We're going to get them in the fridge for like 20 minutes till they're nice and firm and crisp. Hopefully they'll last that long, I'm not sure. But thank you very much for joining us. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you want to cook these or the pasta dish, please go to cookserveandenjoy.com. You'll find the recipes there, along with all the others from our sort of 30, 40 episodes we've done now to date. I am currently writing recipes for the next 10 to 20 episodes going forward towards Christmas. So if there is anything that you would really like to see me cook or know how to cook, please post it in the comments below and we will see if we can get it in. Make sure you leave your name and I will give you a name check when I do cook that dish. But thank you very much for watching us. I hope you enjoyed meeting Pip. I'm sure she'll be about again soon, and thank you very much.